evening everyone, hi. Welcome, I hope everybody's keeping really well. Thanks for being here. What a lovely day we've had. I went for a bike ride this morning, probably the furthest I've been from my flat in 10 weeks, whatever it is. And yeah, felt great to be outdoors in the sunshine. So I hope everybody's having a nice weekend and ready for a bit of Sunday evening singing. And yeah, thanks again for tuning in. And I'm going to get started, I think. So, if you're ready for a bit of a warm-up, let's have you up on your feet for a bit of stretching before we start singing. If you're feeling a bit kind of Sunday evening, feel free to sit out the warm-up and join in with whatever you want as we start singing later on. But for those who are up for it, let's just have a bit of a shake out and a shake down. And then loosen ourselves up a little bit. Hands, elbows, shoulders, and legs nice and loose. And let's just roll our shoulders round nice and slowly. Very nice. And slowly back the other way as well. Great. And then heads round slowly. And slowly back the other way. Very good. And then if you kind of fall into a comfortable and easy singing position, so you should have your feet about shoulder width apart, knees nice and loose, and then imagine a kind of invisible thread pulling you up through the top of your head so that you stood up nice and straight. And then just take in a big breath through your nose and breathe it out really fast. And another big breath in, and then this time breathing out slowly. And one more big breath in, and then this time out with a big sigh. Great. Let's do a little bit of singing. Can we do a just to begin, we'll do a with a big slide between the two notes, and try and keep your head in the same position as you're singing, so that the only thing that's moving should be the mechanism in your throat. 2, 3, 4. E and E, O, O, oo, oo. And now we'll do a la 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 la, and la 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 la. No 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 no, and no 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 no. Why and why. T t t t t t t t t t t t t t t t. Last one. Fa 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 fa, and fa 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 fa. Feels very weird to be warming up on my own and not hearing a choir sing back. So let's get started. Welcome everybody, thank you for being here. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to Couch Chorus. This is a kind of weekly sing-song, Sunday evening sing-along, just to keep the music going while we're all in lockdown. And all the essential information you need is as follows. Underneath the video, you'll find a link to the lyrics for today's song. And if you're logged into YouTube, then you should find down the right-hand side a little chat window so that you can talk to each other and send each other messages as we go. And then at the end of the session, I can read all of that back. So if you are here and logged in, do say hello, because it's really nice to know who's tuning in each week. And yeah, I'll read it all back at the end and see who is singing along in real time. Because it's nice, it's great to feel a sort of sense of community every Sunday evening. So yeah, if you're here as a regular, thank you once again, and if you're here for the first time, welcome, and I hope you enjoy singing along. Our song for today is another Beach Boys one. Someone sent it to me during the week, and it just rang true for the moment that we're in, and it's one of my favourite Beach Boys songs actually, but I'd kind of forgotten about it. It's a slightly lesser known one, so you may not be familiar with it. It's called In My Room, and it's kind of about, I suppose, one's imagination or was kind of making the most of the space that we're in. Yeah, and I feel like it's because we've all been trapped in the same space for such a long time, our relationships with our houses, flats, bedrooms, whatever, are kind of shifting. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in this one particular room over the last 10 weeks, and I sort of love it and slightly resent it at the same time. And I'm sure lots of you can relate to feelings along those lines. Okay, so it's going to be in 4 parts: soprano, alto, tenor, bass. If you're a choir singer and you know what that means and you're kind of attached to those voice parts, great. If you don't know what any of those words mean and you just want to sing a kind of tune, just pick a part as we go, whichever one feels right, and sing along with that. There isn't really a kind of tune part in this. It's all that kind of Beach Boys, close harmony vibes, so all of the parts are nice to sing, but there isn't kind of one part to lock onto. Here we go. So we have got the first thing to say about this song actually is when we're counting it, it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but every beat is divided into 3. So actually it's a which you should kind of keep in mind as we're going along. If you can hear that, it's what gives it its kind of lazy, lilting smoothness, I guess. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Here comes the first part. So I'm going to teach the alto part for verse 1. But all harmony parts, just follow along because the rhythms sync up exactly, and the kind of shapes roughly as well. I didn't listen to that note, let me put it one time. So the alto part is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. So let's break that into the chunks. The first bit goes, there's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. 2, 3, 4. There's a where I can go and tell my secrets to. Great. Then we've got in my room, which is very slippery. In my room. Kind of James Bond. I'll just do the next bit as well because it kind of makes sense in context. In my room, in my room, in my room. Together, 1, 2. In my room, in my room, in my room. So the whole of the alto part goes as follows. Let me just check in the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. On top of that, the soprano part does a really similar thing, but kind of jumps up a phrase. So you start on the same note and you do, in fact the first 4 notes are exactly the same, and then on the second bar you split into harmony. So you're going to do, there's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. So those second 2 phrases are the same shape but shifted up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. And then, maybe this is kind of the tune for the next 2 phrases. You're going to do, in my room, in my room. Nice and easy and really stretched out. After 2, 1, 2. In my room, in my room. From the beginning. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room. Let's try soprano and alto together from the beginning. So remember, the first bar, the first 4 notes are the same, and then you split for the second from then on. Here it comes, sopranos and altos from the beginning. There's 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. So actually I recorded it a little bit slower than I was teaching it. Should we do that one more time? And I'm going to sing. In fact, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to play it one more time so you get one more go at it. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world splitting. I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. Great. Underneath that, tenors and basses, you're actually only going to join in on Tell My Secrets. And maybe I'll do the bass part first. So basses, you steal the first note that the altos are doing. They're doing, there's a world where I can go and you're stealing that note. So you're going to do, tell my secrets 2, 3, 4. Tell my secrets to. In my room. Which is a bit strange, I'll do it one more time. In my room. In my room. In my room. Probably makes sense if I sing the whole thing. So from Tell My. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell my secrets to. In my room. In my room. In my room. One more time. Tell my secrets to. In my room. In my room. In my room. Great. Before I put up the sopranos and altos, let's stick the tenor part in there because you've got the same idea, tenors. you're going to start on number 5. So if the basses and altos are on 1, there's a world where you're going to start on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got tell my secrets 2, 2, 3, 4. Tell my secrets 2. And then quite a big jump up to in my room. 1, 2. In my room. 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 So the whole of that goes. Tell my secrets too in my room, in my room, in my room. One more time. Tell my secrets too in my room, in my room, in my room. Great, let's try tenor and bass together, and I'm going to play really quietly the soprano and alto part on top, just so those two parts can have a little refresh. And also tenors and basses, you can hear the intro, so you know where to come in. Here it comes. There's 2, 3, 4. There's a world where so basses are there, tenors. Tell my secrets too in my room, in my room, in my room. So now you can start to hear some of those classic, rich, lovely, warm Beach Boys harmonies. Let's put the whole thing together. So here it comes from the beginning with all 4 parts. Join in with whichever one feels right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets too in my room, in my room, in my room. Great. Shall we do that one more time before we move on to the next verse? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets too in my room, in my room, in my room. If you don't know the origin of this, I recommend digging it out because it's lovely. It's a really, really nice one. Let's carry on. So the next verse is really similar to what we've just done, but all 4 harmony parts start together on the first line, and there are a couple of variations in that everybody steps up a harmony, if that makes sense. So altos, you're going to do in this world I lock. So you step up on the second phrase, where the soprano stepped up in the first verse. You're kind of stealing their part. So I'll sing you the whole thing. So it goes, what does it do? Oh yeah. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. I'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. Then you go back to exactly what we had in the first verse. In my room, in my room. catch, I said exactly the same as the first verse. I lied. The rhythm here is slightly different. Instead of doing in my room, this time we do in my room, gap, in my room, in my room. I didn't explain that very well. I'm going to sing you the whole verse so it makes sense. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room, gap, in my room, in my room. So if you're counting the da 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 da, that rhythm, that new rhythm doesn't feel so strange. It kind of locks into that. I'm going to do now the same thing with the soprano part. So same idea, sopranos. On the second phrase, you step up a harmony. So you're gonna start higher. So it goes. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. Let's have a go. 3, 4. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. And then you're back to where you were in the first verse. So the next two lines are the same, just with that different rhythm. In my room, gap, in my room. So nice and easy. I'll do that all one more time. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room, in my room. I might, just before I teach the tenor and bass part, just do sopranos and altos once from the beginning so you can hear those first two verses in context. Just the top two parts. So tenors and basses, hold tight for 15-20 seconds. Here we go. There's 2, 3, 4. There's a world where splitting. I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. And now jumping up sopranos. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. Back to normal. In my room. Gap. In my room. In my room. Great. If at any stage it feels like I'm moving a bit too quickly, you can always rewind this video and watch either the last 20 seconds again or watch the whole thing again later. It's up to you, but it's a bit tricky when there's nobody in the room with me to kind of gauge how people are responding to things. So, and also everybody learns at different speeds. So if there is any bit that you're kind of not totally sure about or you want a quick rerun of, just wind it back a few seconds and have another go. I'm going to do now the tenor and bass parts for the second verse. So I think I'll start with the basses. So basses, in the first verse you had your tell my secrets to. In this verse you just got the same thing but with the first two lines, and you're going to do in this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. So worries and my fears is the same as tell my secrets to. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. One more time. And in this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. Then we're back to normal. In my room. Gap. In my room. In my room. So same as the sopranos and altos, there's just that extra little gap before the last two lines. Let's do that verse one more time. In, 2, 3, 4. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room. Gap. In my room. In my room. Nice. Tenors, exactly the same idea, but you're going to do, again, starting on 5. In this world I... And then just like the sopranos and altos, you step up a part, so you kind of steal the alto part. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. I'll do that one more time because you've got the biggest jump of all the groups, so it goes. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. And then you're back to what you had in the first verse. In my room. Gap. In my room. In my room. Shall I try the whole verse through? 1, 2, 3, 4. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room. In my room. In my room. So, in order to be fair, let's now do from the beginning, just with the tenors and basses. So altos and sopranos, just hold tight for 20 seconds. In fact, you will hear the soprano and alto first two phrases, because they give you your notes, remember, so it'll be, there's a world where, tell for the basses, and tell for the tenors. Here we go. There's a world where I can tenors and basses. Tell my secrets too in my room. In my room. In my room. Carrying on. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room. Gap. And. In my room. In my room. Shall we try from the beginning, all 4 parts? And if any of those harmonies haven't totally sunk in, don't worry, we'll do it a couple more times, and the last verse you'll get another refresh because it's the same idea again. But also these Beach Boys harmonies are just sometimes quite scrunchy, so it can take a while to get your ear tuned in to kind of how your part fits in those block chords. Here we go, from the beginning, all 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can tenors and basses. Tell my secrets too in my room. In my room. In my room. Second verse. And then let's go one more time before I teach you the bridge section. Because the last verse is the same idea again, so that won't take us very long to teach. So actually, we're kind of nearly there. One more time from the top. There's 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to in my room, in my room, in my room. 3, 4. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears in my room, in my room, in my room. So, the bridge is totally different, and the first line of this, the tenors and altos sing exactly the same thing, which I'll teach you now, but everybody might as well learn this because it's kind of the tune goes. Do my dreaming and my scheming lie awake and pray. So kind of the same shape each phrase. I'll do it one more time. 3, 4. Do my dreaming and my scheming lie awake and pray. And again. Do my dreaming and my scheming lie awake and pray. And now I'm going to carry on with the tenor part, because tenors, you carry on that same theme, but the first line that we've just done is nice and smooth, and then the second line suddenly is a bit stronger, and it goes, do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday. I'll do that one more time. 3, 4. Do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday. So I'm going to put that on the end of do my dreaming. 3, 4. Do my dreaming and my scheming lie awake and pray. And stronger. Do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday. So tenors, you actually get the tune for that part, I think. That's identifiably the tune. Altos, I'll carry on with you. So first phrase we've done, do my dreaming and my scheming lie awake and pray. Then you jump up to, do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday. I'll do that one more time because it kind of fell out of my voice. Do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday, which comes from do my dreaming. Just before I put tenors and basses in, I would like to play you those two parts together, but it involves listening to the whole thing, so I might just set them playing a little bit from the top. So I'm going to play from the beginning. Everybody can refresh the first 2 verses, all 4 parts, and then when we get to the bridge bit I've just done, you're just going to hear the altos and the tenors. Okay? So from the top. There's 2, 3, 4. There's a In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears in my room. Gap. In my room. In my room. So just the tenors and altos. Do my dreaming and my scheming, lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Which then leads us into the last verse. So, basses and sopranos. For the first phrase, do my dreaming and my scheming, you're going to do oohs and ahs, and then you join in the words for do my crying and my sighing. And I'll start with the basses, I think. So you're going to do ooh, ah, ooh, ah, together. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Then do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. So that's pretty jumpy. I'll do that on its own. We'll just have a quick swig of water because it's a bit low for me. Okay, so basses. Do my crying. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh. Let's just go up to there. 3, 4. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh. So now, laugh at yesterday. Day. Quite a big jump. Laugh at yesterday. 3, 4. Laugh at yesterday, which is do. So from do my crying, 3, 4. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Great. Which comes from ooh, ah. So let's try the whole of the bridge section with the basses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Bit low for me, but hopefully in your voice. Okay, sopranos, really similar idea. You're going to do ooh, ah, ooh, ah. 3, 4. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Then you jump up to do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. But all up the octave. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. And I'm not going to sing that again. Let's do soprano all the way through. 3, 4. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Stepping up. Do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday? So just before we get into the last verse, let's go back to the beginning so we can refresh our first two verses, and then when we get to the bridge bit we've just done, I'm going to do just the soprano and bass without the altos and tenors, but it'll be all four parts for the first two verses. Here it comes. There's 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to in my room, in my room, in my room. Second verse. In this world I lock out all my worries and my cares in my room. Yeah. In my room, in my room. So sopranos and basses. Do my dreaming do my crying and my sighing laugh at yesterday. Good. Let's get into the last verse. So, it's almost exactly the same as the second verse. It's just got an extra bit at the end. So, I'll skim through it really quickly, part by part, starting with the basses. So, basses. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid in my room, in my room, in my room. I'll do that one more time. I said it was the same as second verse. It's actually a sort of weird combination of the first and second verse, so you'll recognise bits from each of the verses. Here it comes one more time, basses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid in my room, in my room, in my room. Tenors. For you, it's more similar to the second verse, I think. You've got, now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid in my room, in my room, in my room. In fact, I think for you it's exactly the same as the second verse. Shall I do it one more time? 3, 4. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid in my room, in my room, in my room. Altos, for you it's the same as the second verse as well. Now it's dark and I'm afraid and I won't be afraid. got the words wrong. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid. In my room, in my room, in my room. So same as the second verse for you. And sopranos, yours is the same as the second verse as well. I'm going to do it down the octave. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid. Gap. In my room. So yours is the only part that's got a gap there. The other three parts land on the beat, but sopranos have an extra gap. So yours is exactly the same as second verse in that respect. I'll do it one more time. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid. In my room, in my room. Now, because this is the final verse, at the end we loop round a little repeating phrase, which is just the words in my room. So sopranos, you do in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. That's how we go. 1, 2. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. Then your last one goes in my room. So the whole of that last chunk goes in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. Last one. In my room. And we hold that last note. Altos. You loop your last phrase through to the end. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. Then your last one drops down. In my... No, it doesn't. It rises up. Sorry. So you've got in my room, in my room, 4 times. In my room, in my room. Last one. In my room. So your last one rises up. Tenors. In my room, in my room. 4 times. In my room, in my room, in my room. So again, same as the altos, your last one just rises up. I'll do it one more time. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. And then you hold that last note. And basses, you've got a slightly longer phrase. It's in 2 parts. So you've got in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. And then your last one, in my room. So your last one is the same as the first one. So the whole thing, in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. Last one, in my room. So I realise I went through that really quickly, but in some ways the easiest way to put it all together is just to hear it in context. So I'm going to play the whole thing from the beginning and just sing along. And when it gets to that end bit, kind of listen in but be singing along as well, and be mindful there's 4 extra in my rooms at the end. Here we go from the top. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a my crying and my sighing, love at yesterday. Last verse. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid in my room, in my room, in my the ending, 4 extra, in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. Last one. In my room. And that's the whole arrangement. So you can hear at the end there, it really smooths out for the in my room, in my room. And actually the whole thing wants to be quite soft on the voice. The only place where it kind of picks up is that bridge section for the second line. Now that we know what's coming, should we just sing the whole thing through from the beginning all the way through? And you know which bits to watch out for. Pretty much every section runs into each other. The one that's pretty quick off the mark is from the bridge into the last verse. Whatever it is. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Now it's dark and straight in. Here we go. Once from the top. 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room, in my room, in my room. Do my dreaming and my scheming, lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing, love at yesterday. Now it's dark and I'm alone and I won't be afraid in my room, in my room, in my room. Smooth. In my room, in my room, in my room, in my room, in my room. Great, and that's the whole thing. We will sing it through one more time to finish in a sec, but just before we do, a couple of things to really quickly say. First of all, lots of you know about my virtual choir project. I'm sure lots of you have sent in videos. Thank you to everybody who has. It's almost ready to be released, and in fact it is going to be released on Wednesday. So if you're around Wednesday evening, I'm doing a kind of premiere thing at 6 o'clock on this YouTube channel. See you there, I hope. And it sounds great and it looks great, and yeah, I'm really excited for everybody to see it and hear it, particularly those of you who took part. So yeah, if you want to be the first one to see it, 6 o'clock Wednesday night, it'll be live on my YouTube channel. And what else was I going to say? This is week 10, which is kind of amazing, double figures. I didn't think we'd be doing this for 10 weeks, but here we are. And yeah, I think 10 weeks on just feels a nice time to say thank you very much to those of you who've been supporting this project and singing along. It's been, yeah, really, really special for me, actually, these Sunday evenings. I look forward to it every week. And yeah, I'm really, really chuffed that people tune in each week and sing along. So thanks for being here. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And who knows how many more weeks this will be, but I intend to keep this going every Sunday evening while we're all in lockdown, however long that may be. Who knows? But yeah, that's all there is to say on that. Songs we've got coming up are, I know I've said this 1,000 times, but Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy is on my list and is at the top of my list, and I do mean to do an arrangement of it. And the other one I've got coming up is Beatles' Hold Your Hand. I wanna hold your hand, which will be fun as well. And a couple of other really great tunes which people have suggested. So thanks for all of your suggestions. I will get round to them, and I'm looking forward to getting those out into the world. I don't think there's anything left to say other than if you've enjoyed tonight, tune in again next week. You can also watch all of these back, so if you've missed a week for whatever reason, they're all up on my YouTube channel, so you can always watch whichever one you want back again. Yeah, I think that's it. Shall we sing it one more time, all the way through? And now that we've done it a couple of times and we know what's coming, see if we can put some character in it, so the whole thing really, really smooth, as smooth as you can. This feels particularly personal in this song to be doing it from this room where I've spent so much time. Here we go. I hope it resonates with you guys as well. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room, in my room, in my room. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room, in my room, in my room. Do my dreaming and my scheming, lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing, love at yesterday. Now it's dark and I'm alone, and I won't be afraid. In my room, 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 in my room. And there we have it. Thanks everybody. I hope you've enjoyed learning that song. It's been a really special one for me, and a lovely song. So if you don't know the original, look it up because it's really great, really magical. It's kind of Brian Wilson at his best. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed singing along tonight. If you have enjoyed it, I've left a link under the video to something called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can support this project but don't feel obliged. I know these are tricky times for lots of people, so only if you can. But yeah, thanks for being here. I hope you have a good week. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm looking forward to singing again next Sunday. Song to be announced. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to come and read some of your comments and wish you a happy week. See you next time. Thank you.